Well, hello there, everybody. Well, good morning. We're back on the boat. And, oh, that's going to go pretty low. I'm trying to get you a view of me where a chair's not in the way. It's not been working. So anyway, I'm back at my home lake, and today I'm going to be fishing some tackle that my father got me for my birthday. Happy birthday to me. Here are some of the items that my father got me for my birthday. We got ourselves a spin bait, got ourselves some underspins, got ourselves a frog. You know, it's pretty calm, maybe. Got ourselves a little hybrid runner, a couple of hooks for drop shot, so we'll run some drop shot. Got ourselves a Vision 110 jerk bait. And we got ourselves a nice little crankbait as well. And then he gave me a couple spoons. Spoons are gonna be a little tough here. It's pretty shallow here, but we did get them. So we're gonna only use the products that came in this box. And this is my birthday box. Oh, and he gave me this great handsome box. So let's get right after it and see what happens. So it's a pretty weedy area. I'll show you here. So the bass do like to hang out in the weeds, so I decided that I was gonna go with an underspin to start. This is a little bit lighter underspin. A lot of these that I've run that are this style have been 1/4 ounce, 1/8 ounce. This is a 3/16, so I'm very curious to see how this works. Okay, so here's the underspin that we're gonna be running. I got that matched up with the Keitech, and got some activity right over here, so I'm gonna try to see if we can't get something happening over here. So as I said, it was my birthday. Thank you. Appreciate it. You know, I thought, I haven't been on the water in a little while. It'd be really nice to get out here, and I thought, well, maybe I'll just use all the tackle that my dad got me for my birthday and see what happens. I really like underspins. To me, it was like a no-brainer what I was going to throw on, especially with this weed cover that we have here. A Texas rig is really a great option to keep me kind of able to run this through the weeds without getting completely weeded over. And I could just run it, glide it right over top of the weeds and hopefully attract a bass or two. Usually I have this on, well, it depends on the size. This is only a 3/16, so I thought I would pair it up with a spinning reel so I can kind of get a little more, I don't know, a little more feel for it, a little more finesse with a lighter weight. Trying to let it sink down, bring them up, sink down. I haven't turned on my fish finders today. You're welcome. Truly natural. I fish this lake. This is my home lake. I fish this lake a lot of times, so at this point now I kind of have a pretty good idea of where I've caught fish in the past. Whoop! Oh, we got one. There we go. Let's see what we got ourselves here. Hey, look at me. We got our first fish here. Nice bass. So there you have it. Nice little guy. Probably, maybe just under a pound. And that's with the underspin. We're on the boards. No skunk today. We're on the boards. And he was a jumper. There you go. Oh, pal. There we go. So that's on the underspin. Underspin's effective. Let's get him back out there. And he swallowed that pretty good. Let's see if he's got a buddy. This is one of the baits my dad got. Of course, I had to match him up with the Keitech. You know, he didn't get me any Keitechs. That's all right. Thanks, Dad. I like to tuck in. He actually ripped me a little bit. I actually like to tuck in my hook a little bit like that and get that hook kind of in the plastic a bit. Sometimes it'll pop your tail up a little bit, but I find as it's moving through the water, the tail kind of straightens back out. And this kind of gives you a little bit of the best, both the best worlds, because you are getting that underspin, so you're still getting that spin, and you're getting that swim action too. There are times that I'll run a swim bait on as a trailer to my spinners. That came out wrong. There are times where I'll run a swim bait on my spinner baits, and they're effective. They are effective. It's always fun when you catch a fish all natural, and what I mean by that is no fish finders. Just kind of looking at the area, using my eyes to kind of see what I like, areas I like. I always watch for breaks in the water, as I'm sure we all do. But there's times where I fished and I'll pass up a break thinking, it's just a sunfish. But you just don't ever know until you throw your bait in to see what's on the other side. So right now I'm running what they call an Arkansas shad. It's probably one of my favorite colors. It's a bicolor. It's a bit of a bicolor bait. And so I guess in Buddy the Elf fashion, what's your favorite color? This is what I like. I like these browns and whites. I think they're a good combination. This poor guy's pretty ripped up. I don't know if I'm going to be able to get much more with this guy. I go through a lot of plastics. How about you? Do you go through a lot of plastics? Do you do what you can to keep saving your plastic? Sometimes I'll get 1 or 2 bites on a plastic, and it seems like after I've done that, it's kind of over. Well, I guess this guy wasn't much of a stud because he didn't have any girlfriends. I've been kind of fishing that same spot, and to no prevail. To no prevail. So I haven't seen any water breaks as of late. It's maybe about 52 degrees out, 55. It's supposed to be mainly overcast. We do have some slight chances of thunderstorms, but I looked to see before I came out, and it didn't look like we had any kind of rain coming. I brought my raincoat just in case. I'm going to take a couple more casts on this guy, and then I think we'll switch over to the spinner bait, I should say, and see if that can give us any success. Just got a couple more casts here with the underspin. My swim bait, I should say, is pretty spent. It's my hook keeps popping up and getting exposed, so I've been bringing back a lot of weeds. And I think we're gonna switch over to the spinner bait. I think we'll stick with a Keitech on as a trailer. So, you know, I've walked back and forth on this boat a few times, and every time I do, for some reason, I keep forgetting my coffee. Today's a recovery day for me, big time. I had a very busy week, and that's why I haven't posted in a little bit. Lost a couple guys, and it's just been really tough. I've been basically taking on their work besides my regular stuff. I started yesterday at 4:30 in the morning, which you're probably a couple of you are like, 4:30, no big deal. Well, I didn't finish till 8 o'clock at night, and that was a very, very long day. The last couple days, similar thing, not quite 8 o'clock, But I was gonna go over to the pond, and I started thinking to myself, you know what, just get your boat out. Get your boat out, sit down, relax, enjoy your day, and it's enjoyable. I caught a fish, so right off the bat, I'm happy. So, you know, if I don't catch another one, you know, yeah, sure. Would I be disappointed? Not disappointed, but at least my day's fulfilled. I caught a fish. And, you know, it's kind of cool, too, that mixing today's kind of recovery day out, and that's why I got these chairs in, too. I was going to, usually I'll fish. I won't really use chairs too often. It's usually I'll just use the bass decks, but today is a day to relax. It's a Sunday, and I just really wanted to just chill out. All right, so let's get our spin bait on and see if maybe a little more flash, a little more thump, a little more color will get another fish to come out and want to get involved. I haven't seen any more breaks. The water's pretty still today. A little bit of swirl on it, but I wouldn't, what do you call it? That's not chop, but it's not ice glass. There's a little bit of something going on. It's a really nice day. I'm really comfortable. The sun's not killing me. I hope you enjoy hanging out with me today on the boat. Maybe today's one of those days where it's raining, or you know, you don't have access to getting on a boat today. But please feel free to enjoy this boat as it was your own. And it's not a big boat, so we might have to move out of each other's way once in a while. Hey, if you'd like, and you're having fun, I know this so far it's kind of slow. I mean, I like that I caught a fish. We're gonna get to some more of the birthday baits, and I think, like I said, we're gonna go on spin bait one more time. I'm gonna put this guy out here, and then not only is he coming in, but I'm gonna take off the swim bait. It's just spent. It's just spent. It's actually hanging. Actually, I shouldn't say that. It's probably hanging on the best it's hung on. And we got one. But just as I say, I want to take that guy off, right? Get himself in the weeds here a little bit. He's diving down in those weeds. Uh-oh. We're not gonna lose him. We're not gonna lose this guy. He's a boat flipper. About the same size, actually. About the same size. I will say, same size. These little guys have some spunk. Another just under a pounder, I would say. These guys have some real nice spunky, pretty fish. Really pretty fish. Hello. So let's get a view of him going back in. I was just about to switch over to the spin bait, but now you start thinking, oh man, do I stay with the spin bait or what do I do? I thought for sure I was gonna have to I thought there for a moment that I was gonna have to get him with the net. First thing I knew, he felt a lot heavier than he was. He kept diving into the weeds, so I was pulling through those weeds. So I'm gonna put this guy out a couple more times. He's so darn effective. So that's 2 today. So yeah, as much as I want to switch over to my father's, you know, well, this is from my father too. So you know, as much as I want to switch over to that spin bait, I'm kind of like a little nervous to go away from what's working, you know. Well, that's 2 today. I was just telling you how I was gonna switch away But once you catch one, it's kind of tough to take off a bait that's caught you 2 fish now. But I think for the video's sake, because it is all about my birthday baits, I will certainly get us back on, or on, the spinner bait that my dad got me. So I'm going to bring this guy in. I'm going to take one cast. It's my promise, just one cast. I'd like to take it in the spot. I usually do very well over in the spot. And I'm curious to see how he might make out with a underspin as opposed to what I normally throw out over here, which is the spinner bait. Very weedy. And the fish like tucking in those weeds. They really do. So don't underestimate the weeds. I know it's a pain in the ass when you have baits that get stuck in the weeds. You know, a lot of us are like, oh, I gotta fight those weeds again. But here's what I'll tell you. Find weedless baits. If you don't have weedless baits, you're fishing the wrong bait. And you're probably thinking, well, Kirk, you're thinking about going on a spinner bait. And here's what I'm gonna tell you. The spinner bait is an incredible bait to get through weeds. That little wire that's in front of the skirt and the head, it really does well to keep that pretty weed free. I mean, we're gonna catch up some weeds, but you can catch weeds on pretty much anything that you fish. So one more over here and we'll make that change, I promise. This is what Dad got us here. This is a Strike King Professional Series, 1/2 ounce. Ooh. 1/2 ounce is going to be pretty heavy in here. I really didn't think about what the weight was going to be. So let's say 3/8 is, well, this is 2/8, right? 2/8 is 1/8, quarter, 2, it's 3/8. Well, maybe. Yeah, 1/2 ounce seems heavy to me. 1/2 ounce is going to be pretty heavy through here, but it's what my dad got me. We're gonna fish it. I just gonna fish it fast, I guess. All right, so here we are. We're all turned out. Gotta throw them on. Okay, yeah, no, I think that's pretty good. What do you think? I think that's a nice little matchup for that. This is gonna be way too heavy anyway, to be honest with you. I could just feel the weight is just way too much. Way too much. So we're now on a spinner bait. And yeah, he is diving down. Yeah, with the 1/2 ounce, I'm really diving down. And I'll be honest with you, it is a little tough to keep out of the weeds. So I'm going to be bringing back a lot of weeds with a 1/2 ounce. I feel like a 3 ounce would probably be better. I'm going to try to reel a little faster in to keep it up above that weed line. But the weight of it is just dropping down so quickly. But you're usually going to catch the weeds, as you can see there. It's going to be kind of up in the front. Usually it can keep them blowing by pretty good. Got pretty good movement. Pretty good movement. I really have to get going quickly when I hit that water. But this is going to be for a fish that's on the chase. This isn't going to be the way I was fishing with the underspin. The weight on this guy for this particular application over the weeds, a little tough. Not saying it can't work. I'll throw it a couple times. We'll see what we can get. I'm going to lighten up my tail. I'm going to lighten up my tail here. I got this guy here. Nothing like make it a little heavier even still. Okay, a bigger presentation even. So let's try this. I felt like my tail was just a little too dark, and mine actually started to get a little lost in the weed cover. So I want something that's gonna flash out of that weed a little bit more. Clean this guy off here a little bit. And you know, I hate to say it, but a little too heavy for here. All right, so I decided I'm gonna get back to the underspin. It's just been so effective. And yeah, I like catching fish. So not that that wouldn't have. I just think it's a little heavier for what I want to do, and I really want to get through these weeds nice. I want to be in the weeds. And I really feel like this underspin has what it takes to get through those weeds well. We've caught some pretty big fish here, so it's not unheard of to catch a really good sized fish here. And that's what I mean with the underspin. Yeah, they love this underspin. They absolutely love it, these little guys. We've been catching mainly juveniles, and this guy caught it in the same spot the other guy did. There we go. Another little guy. It's like the juveniles are coming out to play right now. On the underspin, first cast out, and it's effective. What do you think, guys? Well, this video was going to be about fishing my birthday box, but it might be going into fishing the underspin. Got ourselves another one. This one's little. This one's a little guy. The little ones are coming out and bite. They're coming out to play. Here we go. That's 4. That's number 4. And every time they hit, the hook seems to drive in about the same spot every time. That's another cute little guy. You know, yeah, hard to say. So anyway, here's another guy. Let's put him out right in there, back in. Whoa. We almost went in with him. So that's 4. Underspin's effective. We got to stay on it. I don't know. We got to stay on it, guys. There's a part of me that wants to switch on some of these other baits, but I don't know. I don't want to switch with what's working. And that's what we're fishing there. We're fishing the underspin 3/16. I've had heavier ones, and I think they just get down too much. And this just seems to be really doing a great job. My equipment from sitting in my truck has been getting destroyed from the dust of my stockyard. So if you don't know, I have a second channel. It's called Kirk Allen Trucking. If you want to if you have an opportunity, you want to go check that out, I'll throw a link down in the description. It'll be at Kirk Allen Trucking. When I'm not out fishing, enjoying my time, as little as it seems like we get opportunities to do, I'm working, and I own a trucking company, landscape supply yard. So I supply local landscapers and homeowners. And so that's what I do in real life. This isn't really real life, is it? Wish it was. I'd love to do this all the time, full time, but You got to catch a lot more fish and be a lot better at it. I'm getting better equipment, that's for sure. I've got a couple different boats here. This is my smaller of the two. As you know, if you're watching my videos, you know that I have the Javelin as well. That's a little bit bigger boat. So that can get me on some of those bigger waters if I wanted to compete. We have a couple competitions coming up this year. So we're gonna have the cameras on. Probably not gonna do a lot of talking on those because, you know, my co-angler, he's pretty serious. You know, he'll talk to the camera once in a while, but it's usually more he's talking to me, and you're just kind of gonna go for the ride. As I was saying earlier, I was just gonna hit a pond and just be like, oh, okay, well, I'll hit a pond, you know, spend a couple hours. I'm like, you know what, Kirk, you've got those boats. You got to get in your boats, make it happen. You're the only one who can make it happen. No one's gonna say, hey, Kirk, where are you? Well, let's get out on the boat or whatever. You have to get out on a boat. You have to make it happen. Oh, he flipped my spin bait, or my swimmer. Oh yeah, we're done. We tried. Hey, you know what? This little guy, this little swim bait has caught us 4 fish, and he's spent. He's pretty much hollow at this point. You can see he's got a big old hole in there, so pretty tough to get my hook into that guy. So but don't worry, we got a new guy right here. Don't you love it when you hook them right the very first time? Sometimes that doesn't always occur. Get some nice weed cover here too. I'm not running any fish finders today. I'm running strictly on just sight. Again, this is a home lake, so I've fished here many times. I'm pretty aware of the layout. I'm not going to say I know it perfectly, but I'm pretty aware of the layout here. But we're all weeded up. We're all weeded up. We've been fishing here for a couple hours now. I haven't caught anything after those 4, and we have another boat on the lake, so I decided to kind of move out of our area. We went back in the area where we caught those first couple of fish just to see if maybe we could get that to happen again, but no luck. Okay, we're back on the birthday baits, and I outfitted it actually with a swim bait that my father gave me for Christmas. So this is an all dad bait. So, oh, let me get that down there. This is an all dad bait. We're gonna throw it here. We're on the other side of the lake now. We're gonna get back to the birthday baits. So here we go, spinner bait, heavyweight, 1/2 inch. See what it does. I love the willow blades on this thing too. I really do like the willow blades. I feel they put out a good thump. They move the water well. Got a little wind picking up, so it's making it a little tougher to stay in one spot. I like to see a little movement. I mean, I could just put a worm on there and lighten this up if I'm not going to get any movement anyway.